Helen here at the Olympia Expo, once again being joined by Bobby Lashley. Now, we just spoke about a lot of things, and one of them is your next fight, or a potential next fight. Now, we did talk about the heavyweight division and the recent signings of like Roy Nelson, Frank Mir, and you mentioned that Mir would be a good fight for you, or someone you would like to fight. So can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, you know, the last thing I ever do is call people out. That's just not me, not my style. I think it's very juvenile when people do it, especially on Twitter and everything like that. And I did read an article that Frank was saying that it's an interesting matchup. That's the one thing I like about him. Like, above all, you know, I'm a fan of fighting, and I'm a fan of fighters because I know the discipline and everything that it takes to get into fighters. Frank gets it, okay? The fact that he came over to Bellator, I think that's a great addition because of just that. He gets it. And when you get it, you look at the fights that are going to be the best for you, best for your career. And yeah, I think Frank would be an awesome opportunity. I know him personally. I think Frank is a genius when it goes to the psychology of the sport and the business and everything like that. I mean, he had some great little fights with Brock. So, I mean, like I said, I'm never calling anybody out, but as far as like what he said, a great matchup, I think it'd be great to compete against somebody like him.
So, with that being said, would you like to welcome him into Bellator and be his first fight?
Ah, you're playing matchmaker. That's what this is. You know, I think somebody needs to welcome me, you know, because we always like somebody that's going to pull us up. I think Frank's the one that can legitimize anybody in the sport because, you know, winning a UFC title a couple times, his name is always going to be synonymous. When you talk about fighting, Frank Mir's there, okay? So as far as the heavyweight category, if you talk about some of the great heavyweight champions, Frank Mir's there. So if I needed to legitimize my fighting career, I think he'd be a great opponent.
And also, I mean, speaking about matchups, because a bit earlier, or actually kind of in the other video, we were talking about, you know, that you're well-rounded, and then you were talking about, you know, your boxing. We know your good wrestling background. So with that being said, how well do you think that you and Frank match up, though, stylistically?
I think, you know, with the jiu-jitsu background, jiu-jitsu and wrestling always butt heads. So I think that's a big deal. I think they butt heads. A lot of people haven't seen my striking because I've always gone to my wrestling. It's like when you have all these other tools in the bag, why not just use the tools that's going to work? And that's what I've been doing my entire career. If he stops my takedown, then we go into another category that maybe he may be stronger in the jiu-jitsu. Maybe he's not. We don't know. I'm not going to panic and try to run away. I go with a lot of great jiu-jitsu players, so it's not like I'm going to try to run away from there. I think I have really good top position. I think I really good ground and pound. But outside of that, if we make a stalemate on the ground, then we got to get back to our feet. And that's the one place that I've not been able to show my skills. I have some great boxing coaches that I've worked with. I have some great striking coaches across the board that I've been working with. So it'd be fun to see. It'll be fun to see what happens. I think that's a fight that the crowd will really be interested in seeing. So you never know.
Yeah, and I mean, since you guys both seem interested as well, but I know someone else you were interested in. You mentioned Fedor, but what did you think about his fight against Matt Mitrione, though?
I think it was a big boost for Mitrione. I think it was phenomenal for Mitrione. However, it goes back to that sense where we didn't really get to see the fight. It just happened so quick. So I mean, I wanted that fight, and I was hoping, I didn't want to say I was hoping that he beat Mitrione because that's not right, but I was hoping that he came out there in a good fashion so that I could possibly get that fight afterwards. Since he lost, I was like, I don't want the fight. But since he lost the way that he lost, I think we still have the mystique of Fedor still there. So I think Fedor still has an opportunity to go out there and have a couple more big fights, and I think people are still going to regard him as one of the best fighters in history.